guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Chaos County. We are playing City Skylines. This is, at the moment, the town of Belmont Hills, but I have decided that we need to really rename this. I do apologize if there is a bit of an echo in the room just after the move, and I'm still figuring out a few things in terms of placement, so bear with me on this episode and do actually let me know if the echo is a little bit too much, just so that I know how you guys are perceiving it on the other side of the YouTubes. Okay, so I think we need to actually give this this town a name, and I thought what would be a good thing to do is if you go over here, you can see there's quite a bit of rapids over here, so I think the Bay of Rapids or something like that is quite a functional name, and something that someone would actually do when they get here. Wow, my goodness, there's so many. Look at all the white water. Oh, white water is actually another one. White water in the, let's call it Whitewater Bay. I think that's what this town is going to be named as, Whitewater Bay. Whitewater Bay, something like that. There we go. Whitewater Bay is our fishing town over here. I think that actually works really well. I was thinking something with rapids, but Whitewater is really good. Something like someone would see if they arrive here for the first time, if it's still unspoiled and natural. One of the things we really need to do, in the last episode, what we did is we finally hooked up public transport, and we see that there's a lot of people waiting there, so we could potentially up our frequency on some of these lines a little bit. So let's quickly have a look at our bus lines. Bus line 2 is, we'll just call it Whitewater Local 1, and the other one was Intertown, so it's just, let's just say Whitewater to Carlton. Yeah, Whitewater to Carlton. There we go. 8 stops, 2 stops. That's perfect. I wanted to add an extra stop over there, so we'll have a look at that in a little bit. So if I open this line up, just want to see how many biofuel buses I actually have on there. It's like 5. I think we probably need more, considering that we're running pretty much full. So selecting the types, we're selecting only biofuels, so let's add 1 or 2 more of them. I think that's going to be just fine. Then if we go back and have a look at this one, how many passengers are, wow, they're all full and the stops are running. So I think we probably just, wow, and there's plenty of buses on this line, isn't there? I'm thinking 30 on a bus is really not quite right. So if we go to the biofuel bus, let's just make that, I mean, a bus can carry like 60 people, right? Let's just apply that using this vehicle editor piece over there. Hopefully that will actually make a massive difference, and we don't have to add more buses to it, because really 30 on a bus is a bit small, really. Okay. Now, one of the things we urgently need is we need to get going with a university of some sort. And I was kind of wondering whether we actually do jump straight into the university piece or not. So what do we have over here in terms of universities? We've got a trade school with a campus and all these kind of things, and all of these buildings, I believe, can function as a starting point, right? Can they all take students, or what's the situation? Student capacity down there. So this building will not have any student capacity. It costs 30,000, and then we can basically start and get a little bit of something going on. Maybe like, I don't know. I really don't. If you're not intending on building a lot, so trade school laboratories or something. So the idea is, do we build it all at once, or do we slowly build it out into a bigger piece? So one of the things is we definitely need one. The alternative, of course, is we can just go and grab one of these universities, plop that in there somewhere quite nice and straightforward right there. Everybody gets access to the university here, and we get the education that we need so that these guys can actually continue to expand, and that we get our residential demand up a little bit more. I think that's part of the option for us. We just go with this one. Well, it's not necessarily cheap, so we could potentially, what else do we have? A liberal arts college, a university campus, a varsity sports, museums, oh yes, I remember, and then content creators packs, which gives me some faculty buildings. Maybe that's what we need. A faculty building. Okay, that might be, well, a faculty building is going to be 800 students anyway. just straightforward like that. How many students do we actually have room for? If we go, hang on, we go over here with the university education piece. Eligible students, 1,323 is the eligible students that we have available over here. So a smallish kind of university, and I'm thinking a small university. But the question is, do we build a full university out over here? I do know that if you have multiple universities, it starts to become problematic to get them to get a status, just to kind of up status and stuff like that. A police academy, a tourism and travel school, and a school of engineering. So potentially what we do is we build, wow, and that's 90,000, and this is huge. This is absolutely huge, not in a campus area. But what we do is we can place the administrative building, then we get the area, and then we can place something that provides us some trade school study hall, something like that. Is that the right approach for us, so that we slowly up stuff a little bit? And I'm kind of wondering, okay, so if we go and have a look at this, we could potentially do something over here. I don't mind this little spot too much. It's not big enough for an entire kind of university campus, but if we can start having some buildings doing that, I'm not sure about going around there, but maybe something a little smaller instead. Yeah, I'm a little worried. We just need something. Okay, maybe we're not at the spot where we can start really going with some of these things. A trade school feels just right for this area though. So if we place a trade school there as a starting point, it's not going to be the nicest campus environment up here. It's just not big enough. Alternatively, we can start doing something over here maybe, and we'll have it over here, and it could grow into something quite large, and we'll leave an area open, and then the port will come on the other side of that. The only problem with this is that it's not direct access to public transport over here, so we might have to see about running the tram line. Okay, let's do it. Let's get our trade school up and running over here. So we'll get an administrative building, maybe right over there somewhere. Okay, there we go. Orchard College for the moment. If you want to name our college, please let us know. Okay, so now we need to paint this area out a little bit more. We are looking to paint a campus area, so let's paint this out a little so that we can do that. I am keen to get some names from you, so it could be Whitewater College or anything like that, which would be locally appropriate, I think, considering what we just named this area. So I'm going to run it all the way in here and all the way up to the rail line. So this is kind of our campus area, and we'll just kind of end it over there. So that kind of be our campus area. So there's a fair bit of room there, and then we get into the port. We might have some industrial buildings back there and get into the port over there. But this is kind of okay. It's a little bit, what is going on here? That's quite strange actually what's happened there. Let's try and smooth that out just a little. I'm gonna just what are we saying? Shift terrain. Ditch, no ditches please. So let's just soften the terrain a little bit over here. I honestly don't know why that's actually happened. So let's what is this? Leveling the terrain. So let's just oh my goodness, what is going on with this stuff? Hang on, let's close this one down. Our brush strength is maybe way too strong, and we probably need to make it a little easier to kind of level. Yeah, this area just a little bit better. I don't know why, because it seems like a little bit of a ridge that's happening around there, actually. So let's slowly, we'll try and work our way around that and see if we can't just resolve that a little bit. If we drop it down to like that spot. Yeah, I don't know why we're getting that ridge. I might try and fix that afterwards, but at the moment that's a little weird. That's definitely a little weird. I need to smoothen that out a little bit. Okay, so what else do we need here to get this thing to work? We need some student capacity. So if we click on it now, we have 0 student capacity whatsoever, I believe. Tuition fee student capacity is 0 of 0. So I'm still looking for some names on that, so please remember to give me any names that you would like us to call this college. Okay, So back to that quickly. So from an education point of view, we've got that built. I just need a building that will allow us to get our very first pieces, our very first students. School gymnasium, trade school cafeteria, trade school library, IT club. I mean, all of these things are interesting, but thematically it just doesn't feel. The auditorium maybe is the one that's going to give us some students, and we'll go from there. So you can put it on the road here, and I'm tempted to place the auditorium right next to it over here, like so. What did that do? Yeah, that's okay. We can level this out. I will level this out. I mean, think maybe in between episodes so that you guys aren't too bored with it. So now, with that building over there, we can have a look, and we have a 600 student capacity. There's some expenses that we have to deal with, so we'll get going on that. I can ever so quickly start by putting, no, I won't put the fence or any of the other stuff in there. That's just going to be the starting point for now. So the idea is that we can speed things along. We should get people to attend that, and I'm tempted to maybe run a bus all the way out there. Maybe a tram is a little bit premature at this stage, so let's just get a bus line that can in fact go out to the campus. Yeah, well, they can get in through there, and then they can go back. So it's going to be, and what we can do is, while we're on the route, we may as well pick up some people. So let's actually trim that back out and say, well, you're coming up here. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. So have your first stop over there, have your second stop somewhere over here somewhere, and then drop people off right there. And then on your way back, you can pick up some people over here, pick up some people over there, and you can finish off the line over there. So let's get, this is the campus line, campus shuttle. So we'll get the campus shuttle on board. We'll enter that. We'll give it a nice color for like a education facility, maybe like almost a yellowish kind of color over there. I like that. We're going to select the vehicle types, and it'll only be the biofuel bus. I'm not going to do the school bus or anything like that. This is a university. So that's okay. We'll get that up and running, and that should hopefully get a few people out there a little quicker. We still have people have the ability to come in over here and then walk up there, but yeah, that should at least give us some access to a few people over there. So let's pop out of this menu. Can I, why am I, oh, is it because I'm in there? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now hopefully we will slowly start to see people joining the campus. 214 students already, and we are making money from the campus, so that is awesome. We don't have any funky policies or academic works or anything like that that's in there at the moment. We might get into that later. For the time being, I would just very much like to educate our people a little bit more. Okay, the next thing I want to do is maybe fill out some of these areas, or potentially start moving into this direction before we join up with the port. So the port will be quite an expansive plan here, and I'm thinking maybe that is what we start doing here. This road could potentially be a bit bigger, considering it's joining from in here. We can have people joining in from over there. Yeah, so let's see what kind of a road. Let's go a slightly bigger road over here. Let's something like that. From that point onwards, we'll have a slightly bigger road, and this road will then kind of almost continue to run along this kind of point here. Though I wanted to, and once we get here, it needs to be really structured. Yeah, okay, so we'll do, okay, hang on. So maybe we'll start it off over here. I want it really structured out here next to the port. So we'll run nice and straight. And maybe what we need to do is we need to start with the port buildings itself. Okay, let's actually do that before we get too crazy here. So if we're going for boats, we want to do the cargo hub, I believe. So yes, we can certainly place it in there. We can place it over there. It won't actually work over there. So what we'll need to do is maybe we can have two cargo ports next to each other there ultimately. So I'm just tempted that if we maybe place it right there, Okay, let's see how that turned out. Okay, just about right. I think that's fine. It actually looks quite good right there, and it won't look too funny to have the rail pop in there. So what I'll do is I'll just twist the rail into that section a little bit. We'll have to see about tying in this guy up here somewhere. Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that. Okay, let's bring this one back a little. Something like that, even more. Yeah, before it makes that twist. There we go. That's the spot where I wanted. Now we go with the rail. And for the time being, because we haven't got this hooked up and it's not got power or anything, let's just switch it off. And we'll go with the rail again, and then we'll try and tie it in. Space already occupied by that. That's fine. We'll get anarchy in place. But what I need us to do is we actually need this to be... What? Why is it giving me a tunnel? There we go. I think that's what we need to do. So if we do that, it's not actually going to allow people to walk through there. But I do like it. I think that's okay. And then what we'll do is just we'll twist it and tie it together over there. So let's get that. Switch anarchy back off. We'll get this this to be on the line as is, and we'll try and very smoothly kind of hook it up over there. Maybe that's not quite right. So maybe we rather do it this way. Something like that, and tie it in over there. So there we go. That's nice and tied in. Not too problematic in that sense. We'll have this one run up here. We'll need to run it maybe straight down this section, and we will have to kind of cross this. And I'm thinking it's okay to cross this level over here. So let's see. I want it to be pretty close to there, but we will leave room for something. Too close actually. So why does that have to be? Let's try it like this. It does not want to cross it, huh? If we move it back a little. Okay, that actually does work. But I want it to be that's it. That's okay. So we'll run it like that. That's the idea. So we'll have a crossing over there. That should be signalized crossing, I believe. Yeah, well, it's got the little barriers. And then what we'll do is we'll turn it to come in over here. So let's try and get it fairly smooth. I don't necessarily want it at a 90-degree angle. Actually, yeah, that's quite good. Let's get it a little further away. I like that idea, but it might be a little too tight. Actually, let's do this and just tie it in directly over there. I think that's even more natural. That is slightly more natural. It's a little bit away from that. It's a slightly larger road. It's going to run into the port directly. Now we just need to tie this road in here. So let's get just a standard road. We'll hook up the port over there. Straight section, please. I would like you to be actually on the ground all the way. There you go. That's quite good. We could drop this a little bit maybe, and that might help some other things. And we could connect in an extra one over there, and that'd be quite good. So now this area, I feel we can make use of a very structured like port area. There's a little bit of oil fields over here that we could make use of should we want to. But let's get a little bit of a layout going on for maybe our oil, not oil, it's just industrial area. Let's get some industrial roads. We're not going to have roads in on that side. This guy is just going to be right up to the port there. Actually, that's quite a nice distance from the water over there too. So let's try and, where we can, run at least run a nice straight road out here. And I'm very tempted to well, let's give it a little one gap over there, and we'll just do it up to about that. And what I'd like to do is just create a little hammerhead in the end there. So we'll come back and fix that up a little bit, but I do like the idea of and we don't necessarily need the hammerhead. We could run it, yeah, we could run it like that. Okay, hang on, we don't need that. We'll just do this and tie it in which case we don't need that little section. So let's remove that. So yeah, I think that's going to work really nicely. We'll just continue that out over here. So let's continue that out a little bit more, and we'll continue to create these little areas. It'll be like a little industrial park, potentially, something like that. We can definitely run something like this. That'll actually work quite well there. It's going to be nice and structured with this kind of larger road coming into the area. I do like that idea. Up to there, up to down here, like so, and then we can go ahead and tie in over there. So that whole area is looking pretty good. Whether we have enough access points to it is maybe up for debate, but really that goes up to like the edge of the campus over here. What we could also do is we could provide a little bit of an additional road over here, maybe a little commercial strip on the edge of the water over there. Office strip or something like that could also work. Actually, let's find ourselves a little road to come off of the main road here at the point where it is. Actually, if we do it like right over there, right, like so, we get a slightly smaller road, or something one way even. And we do something like this, right? But the other way around. But the other way around, so that you don't have any funny business going on over here with the traffic. So now vehicles come in here, they go around, and they come back out, and it probably needs to be a signal over here, so we can get that to do it. But I think I like the idea of doing some stuff like this. We could also then try and extend it out a little bit, certain areas. So what we could do is we could do maybe a little something like this, and just extend it out there a little bit. We could extend it out this way a little bit, something like that, and then we can have like cul-de-sacs down there. Could even maybe turn it over a little bit, something like that should work quite nicely. Okay, now we've got a fair bit of demand going on over here. Did we manage to fill out all of our residential buildings? We did, and we want to do a park. I think that's what I'm going to do next over here too. So let's start filling in some more residential demand here. We are going a little bit overboard maybe now with this area. See about getting some of those filled in. Keep the residential demand growing. We're at 11,000 population, which is quite good. How many people do we have attending campus? We are, yeah, about 2/3 into our capacity. We're still unrecognized, and there's still a long way to go for us over there. Let's quickly do some cul-de-sacs over here. I do like doing a little bit of that. Just like that, and just like that as a bit of a turnaround. We could do something like a beach over here maybe. That would be quite cool. So let's just bring that back a little. We'll bring this back a little over here. Twist it a little like that. That should be fine. I also like to just pop into the node controller and just switch off our, it's not that one, it is this one, and just make sure to switch off our junction markings so that it looks a little bit more like a cul-de-sac. Nice. Okay, get out of there. There we go. That's cool. That is cool. So what we need to do now is actually run some water in here. We'll continue our water along our main road into the port. And we probably need to run water up here and like, ooh, that's a little bit too far, something like that. That should give us water everywhere. Now, this area over here, I was kind of tempted to create, well, this is now going to be the port area. I was kind of tempted to create some form of interesting stuff here. And I was thinking, the other thing that we can think of is maybe, no, but an oil field right in the city is just not going to be the right thing. So let's start off by getting some of that zoned over there. Is there anything specific that we would like to zone it with? Is there paint an industrial area? It's not right, but here what we can do is, yeah, nothing generic industry only. Anything else we can place in there? IT cluster or anything like that? No, not really. So we'll get a little bit of generic industry to go on over there. Hopefully our education and all these kind of things will help that out a fair bit, so that they're not too dirty in the long run. We could also provide some additional maybe garbage services over here. Our processing facilities are still quite good at the moment, so we don't need any too much detail with that right now. It's a little bit polluting. I would hope that we can upgrade that and get rid of some of the pollution there. Okay, now let's get some commercial going on over here. I was thinking right at the front here, and we'll not do all the way to the edge. Maybe we'll do something like that. I do want us to allow for a little pathway to go around the edges there. So we'll do this. Probably up to there, and then we'll do something like that and something like that. That should be okay. We'll run the very similar stuff in here, something a little smaller down there and a little smaller down there. That's fine. I think that's actually quite good. We will not go all the way to the edge there. We'll probably start maybe with the smaller one there and then get some larger pieces in there, up to about something like that. That should give us the room to bypass that, and we'll get the higher density stuff right in the middle over there. I think that's going to work really well. So there's a bit of a commercial area coming up in the port. So now we also start needing a name for our port area. So let's just paint out this new, this is not a campus area, please. Not a campus area. This is going to be just a standard kind of district. So now we're hugging the edge of this area here. And this becomes actually, and I would like to make this entire area kind of our port area. And I'll paint the entire thing even in there. And this is where we can maybe start looking at using something like ferries or something like that. So this is going to be like the port area. We'll need to extend it a little bit so that there is some room for us to build some stuff. So yeah, if you at the moment it is called Elk Heights, which is not quite good enough. We need to rename that as some form of port. So we need to get to that too. Excellent. And I was thinking, I don't know if we need an additional connection in here. This is going to be like the campus area overlooking the port. Really good that it's kind of technical and so on. We don't have power, so let's just quickly get this to see where our power concern is. We also have a water concern. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's get our power out here. And I'm thinking we're just going to do our best to try and extend it without necessarily... okay, so we'll connect it up like that. Probably need to connect it through here as well. Something like that. See how that goes. We'll probably get rid of those things as we go. We need some water in here, please. So let's be sure to hook these guys up. Okay, hopefully that means they should be okay. Also polluting industries over there. Okay, now our residential demand is really popping up again. So I can quite easily continue to get our dense residential stuff going on here. So let's try and do them in these 4 blocks again for a little while. Okay, there's a few for us to start going on. Now, I would like us to put a park in here. So the last thing that I'm going to do in this episode, I'm going to start work on a city park. This is a pretty small area. So So it's not going to be anything but like a city park. So let's get the park main gate in place somewhere where it makes sense. It doesn't really make sense over there. It really does make sense, right? Maybe right in the middle over here then. It's not quite the middle, but it's going to have to do. I do wonder why we end up with this. Yeah, anyway, what I can do is I can move it a little bit, and we'll just drop it down just a tad. So it's just sloping down just a little bit from the road. From a parking perspective, that's really not the end of the world. Now, let's paint that quickly and just start getting in a few bits and pieces there. So we'll paint the park area. We'll start small, and we'll kind of paint it out there just a little bit. Get it slightly larger. We'll paint it to the corners. Well, actually, can't do it much larger. There we go. So that's our forest park, which will get a decent name, but it's going to be like a central little park area over here, very close to the campus. And to be honest, I would like us to just get a little path through here and then make sure that we get a small gate somewhere. I'm going to switch on what? Oh, this is a main gate. No main gate, side gate. Side gate, please. We'll get a side gate right over there. And we'll run a little path down here so that there's a direct connection from the park to the campus over here. And I'm thinking right nice and central up there. So we'll do this, we'll do that. Good connection right there to the campus, from the park to the campus. Nice, good. Okay, what we also need to do is probably need a few other side gates. So let's quickly slot in one or two more side gates over here, maybe. Something right over there, and definitely something right over here somewhere. Excellent. So now we've got side gates on all edges, and we can quickly put a fence in place. Just going to kind of use the standard stuff, get anarchy switched on. We will need to just potentially move some of these things. I think if we do that, we'll just have to move the edge. So if we do that, and we'll just give it a turn. Not too sure where I'm going to have to snap this one. Let's snap it over there, and then we'll just slowly move them to the edges there. Yeah, that side is a little bit more awkward to deal with. Okay, now all the way down, say there somewhere, and we will tie it in over there. Now I'm going to quickly use mover to just get us to the edges of the park there. So something like that, basically, and this is a nice long one. Ooh, we'll get that one right there somewhere, and what we'll do is we can see if we do twist it out a little. Does that make sense? It actually does make a little bit of sense there. What we can do is we can twist it out in that section as well. That's not too bad. Okay, let's bring it in there. Let's see about twisting it up. Just like that, so it straightens out with that a little. We'll bring it closer in there. Yep, absolutely. That's just smoothing it out a little. Get that one a little closer, so this one will have to twist maybe this way a bit. Yeah, that's good. We move that up there, and actually I think that is quite good just as is. We'll grab this one and we will twist it up there. There we go. Nice, so that's our park. Let's quickly put a few paths in there, and that kind of be how we end it off. So let's try and do pretty straight and direct routes. What I'm a little, just want to make sure. Let's try that one more time. I just want us to make sure that when we do this, we are actually sticking to the slope. So let's do that. Unmodded placement. Let's not do anarchy, toggle snapping, toggle road bending, all those kind of things. And just want you to conform to the edge line, really. So let's get you. Okay, that's looking a little better. So let's do that. I like the slightly more straight paths on here a little bit better. Okay, something like this and something like that. We could also do, yeah, I think that's going to be just fine. What I am a little worried about is just, okay, so what kind of stuff can we put in here? We can place a few facilities in there. Not that one, maybe something like this one, right on this corner here. That's actually quite good there. Maybe a little bit of trampolining over that edge there. Something fancy like this on this side, and maybe a little something right in here. Anything else that we want to put in here? Yeah, I think that should do the trick. Is some stuff like this, a food stall or something, that we can place out there in the middle of the grass or something just like that. And ooh, this thing is looking a little weird, so I'm going to use Move It just to drop it down a little bit, because it's getting a little funny over there. Just it's a little bit more naturally sloped. So that's area. So what I typically like to do with these things, I'm going to do this one also. Just going to drop it down a tad. I mean, that looks much more natural right there. Now, what I'm going to do is one of these are going to be like an open field area with no like real trees and stuff, and then the rest I do want us to put a little bit of trees in there. So if we go with some trees, oh no, can I undo that? I can. Nice. Click that the wrong way around. So if we go with large bushes, we get this brush size a little down. Let's see about getting some trees in here on this edge. So yeah, maybe this edge is what we'll have with some trees, and the other side not. So let's try a few that we can place together over here. If we go slightly larger, yeah, that's better. Place a few trees in there. So just like the one edge there, and maybe this side also a little bit, just a few. And then there's just the one open field there where you can do your picnics and stuff, while here you're going to do the walking and so on. There's some other stuff that we can plop in there as well. But there we go. Now we've actually got a park facility over here as well. Our money is going up. Our demands are looking really good. So we can go in and slot a few things in between here. Excellent. Oh, this side also needs a little bit of help. So let's continue to develop over here. Some of these areas. Lots of development going on here, and lots of residential growth, which is awesome. I do like it. So let's start going around the edge over here also and see how that goes. Slowly growing our population more and more. We're up to 12,000 people now. And we are slowly meeting all the kind of demands. I kind of like how this is looking with the more kind of lower stuff on the edges here. I don't quite like these big ones, this one and that one, with like the bigger ones in the middle there. It's like an old. And what we'll do is ultimately we'll get a little bit of path. Let's quickly start that off, and then we'll end the episode. So let's if I say like I want a little path, right? Where is the paths? I want a little path over here, something that looks nice with like some decorations. So if we then say we're going to run a path, cannot build on water, huh? If you do that, you're building on water. If you do this, you're not. Is that what I'm trying to do? Actually, it makes a little bit of sense that there's something like a bit of a breakwater or something going on right there. Cannot build on water, but if we say anarchy, we can. Is that really underwater? You really shouldn't be under. No, you're not underwater. Excellent. So that kind of thing. just up there, so that we can have an area that actually works quite nicely over here, and that we can kind of decorate nicely with the water's edge, and people can kind of hang out on the beach or something over here. Let's just drop down a little bit over here. It's kind of a little edge that's kind of just maybe giving us a little bit of protection from any kind of high water flooding or something like that. And we'll continue that, tie that in, maybe get this path to walk up here, so that you can connect directly to the residential neighborhoods. So guys, this is the additional growth that we've had. We can probably open this one up for business now. Don't want to do the move it thing here. Let's open that one up for business, so we can start getting all kinds of stuff moving in through here, and only a small little industrial area right over there, and hopefully we can get that upgraded quite quickly. We also need to make sure that they are in fact serviced with all the kind of services that are required for these kind of facilities right over here. But I do like the idea that we're potentially not building a lot of stuff on this main road, so that it can be a little bit busier as you get into the town of Whitewater Bay over here. Okay, guys, it's been good. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Tell me if you have any comments or suggestions, names for all of our new places and facilities. Yeah, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.